Before N.W.A, before Death Row Records, these two OGs were already laying the foundation in California. One from Los Angeles and the other from Oakland. Two different sides of the state, both raised on East Coast storytelling but forged in California reality. This is the story of Ice-T and Too Short, the architects who built the West Coast rap genre long before the empire rose and long before it fell apart. I'm your host doing the most, Nate Kusher from the West Coast, here to put y'all up on game. Let's get into it. See, Ice-T was the first rapper to make LA sound like LA. He stamped LA on the map. His early flow had East Coast, New York storytelling DNA of a Melly Mel, Kumo D, and Slick Rick, but his content, it was purely LA. He wasn't rapping about fantasy, he was documenting his reality, the streets of where he came from. Then came 6 in the Morning, the blueprint for gangsta rap, a record that sounded like a police report, a mirror held up to the streets before anyone else dared to do it. And then came Colors. It was both Ice-T's breakout single and the soundtrack theme to the 1988 film that exposed the nation to the Los Angeles gang culture, and LAPD's Crash, which stood for Community Resource Against Street Hoodlums. Yeah, LAPD was getting pretty serious. Every street dude from California knows the movie wasn't just entertainment, it was a real life documentary. It was a mirror. It was the first time Hollywood tried to show the gangbanging of LA streets to the rest of America. The LAPD's anti-gang unit would literally roll through neighborhoods with actual tanks. Y'all remember GTA San Andreas? I know y'all played GTA. The last mission with Big Smoke? That shit's real. And if you know, you know. And who did they call to set the tone for the movie Colors? Ice-T, the founding father of gangsta rap. That opening theme wasn't just a soundtrack. It was the sound of LA gang culture finally being heard. It was the moment the world realized South Central had its own crazy ass story to tell. But Ice-T didn't just stop right there. A few years later, he dropped Cop Killer. And that record, that was the explosion after Fuck the Police by N.W.A. Cop Killer wasn't a song, it was a political earthquake. It had the president, the FBI, the media, and every police union in America trying to shut his shit down. But Ice-T didn't budge, and the record label stood behind him. He didn't just ride a wave, he created the water that gave life to the rest of the West Coast. He gave gangsta rap its first real shape, from 6 in the Morning to Colors to Cop Killer. He's way more than just an actor on a TV show, kids. What's his favorite word? Bitch! But why they gotta say it like short? Well, while LA was defining gangsta rap, Oakland was defining independence. Too Short wasn't waiting for a label. He wasn't waiting for the radios. He wasn't waiting for promotion or permission, goddammit. He went straight in there and kicked the doors down. He was selling tapes out of the trunk in the early 80s, before most rappers even had a demo out. That's the level of passion and just hustling that Too Short had. He built his own infrastructure out of the Bay. And just like Ice-T, you can hear the East Coast roots in his delivery. The talk, the style, and the long-form storytelling. That block party DNA, but he flipped it into some Oakland game. Pimp culture, a little bit of yay area slang, a conversational flow that nobody else really had. Too Short didn't just rap. He built the independent economy the entire yay area will follow. E40, Mac Dre, Sibo, and the whole Bay, all branches from this tree that Short Dog planted. And when he finally hit the mainstream, he did it his way. The Ghetto, smash hit, came out, street anthem that crossed over without losing its soul. He gave the world Life is Too Short, Short Dogs in the House, and a long list of catalogs that can keep going and going and going. And he turned one word, biatch, into a cultural trademark. He's one of the few rappers who've been active across 5 decades, still being respected, still relevant, and still the big OG to the West Coast. 2 different cities, 2 different styles, 1 state of California. They took East Coast storytelling and turned it into West Coast identity. By the time N.W.A blew the doors off the industry, the foundation was already there. LA had its voice, and the Bay had its blueprint. The West Coast had its architects. Ice-T and Too Short didn't just influence culture, they built it from scratch. That's when the empire rose like ancient Egypt. Dr. Dre, Snoop, Death Row, Tupac. But every empire has a beginning, and every empire has a fall. It's your boy Nate Kusher. I need y'all to stay locked in. It's Gang Gang Radio. I'm gone.